admitted puppy killer and costume wearer, the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, went on the Sunday shows on Sunday. And I cannot decide, is she profoundly incompetent and corrupt? Or is she just a huge propagandist? Or is she the perfect combination of both? Because she makes the biggest ass of herself with Kristen Welker. And what's so interesting is she calls everything she doesn't love fake news. Here we go.
Talk big picture in just a moment, but the New York Times is reporting that thousands of calls from flood victims to FEMA call centers went unanswered in the middle of this ongoing disaster because you didn't renew contracts to keep call center staff in place until nearly 1 week after the floods. Why did it take so long to extend those contracts?
It's just false. Those contracts were in place. Nobody,
that is a lie.
No employees were off of work. Every one of them was answering calls.
Lie.
So false reporting, fake news.
Okay, stop it right there.
It's discouraging.
Here's the deal. Only 15% of the calls were answered because there were 6 phone line operators that had been fired by Kristi Noem through Elon Musk's Doge that she did not replace because she wants all her money to go to ICE to put immigrants in concentration camps. And here's the thing. The fake news stuff, I know that started with Trump, but that is an authoritarian play, making people believe that the facts are not real and what experts say is not real, and undermining the legitimacy of the news is part of an authoritarian playbook. And make no mistake, those are facts. You have seen them from every department. Every investigative department has said that. So Kristi Noem, we know you're lying. We're not stupid like the people that voted for Donald Trump. And here she is regarding the very delayed response to the Texas floods.
Very quickly, I mean, disasters often cost millions, if not billions of dollars. You've acknowledged there is this policy you implemented to sign off on contracts that exceed $100,000. Why add extra red tape when there is a crisis of this magnitude?
It's not extra red tape. It's making sure everything is getting to my level and that it's immediately responded to. This was not slowed down at all. In fact, it was much more responsive. If you remember, I was there. I was standing right there long before this report ever came out, and people were asking and we were granting permission in real time. So the false reporting has been something that is inappropriate, and it's something that I think we need to clear up, and that this response was by far the best response we've seen out of FEMA, the best response we've seen out of the federal government in many, many years, and certainly much better than what we saw under Joe Biden.
2 more quick ones.
Okay, that's all lies. The federal response did not enter Texas until Tuesday. These floods occurred overnight on Saturday to Sunday. The Biden administration had people in North Carolina and Florida. He granted the FEMA relief prior to the storms. So she is again lying, and then she touches on, oh, it's the fake news. The reason Kristi Noem doesn't give a frog's fat ass about FEMA and the flood victims and victims of natural disasters all over the country is because she wants to put people in concentration camps without due process. That is her focus. She doesn't give a shit about helping the American people. And here's what she said in response to a question about ICE.
President Trump is taken seriously as protecting children while we're doing
Couple
this.
more here, if we can get them in. Florida lawmakers visited the migrant detention center in Florida, which your administration has dubbed Alligator Alcatraz. Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz said that the conditions there are inhumane. More than 30 people stuffed into a jail cell. She said they get their drinking water and they brush their teeth from the same place where they go to the bathroom. Madam Secretary, what do you say to these lawmakers who argue this is not humane treatment of individuals, of humans?
Well, our detention centers at the federal level are held to a higher standard than most local or state centers and even federal prisons. The standards are extremely high. Now, this is a state-run facility at Alligator Alcatraz,
but they have
a
stuffed into a jail
They have
cell?
a Well, I've been there and I've seen these rooms that they are in. I wouldn't call them jail cells. I would.
Okay, here's the deal. Kristi, that's semantics. You have 30 people crammed into a space. Eyewitnesses that have gone in and they are seeing what you're doing say it is a cruel and unusual punishment, that it is below the decency standards for human beings, but you don't give a shit because you like it. Did you see her little grin when they said alligator Alcatraz? You could tell it just gives her the tinglies. She runs around hurting people, destroying families, going just roughshod over the Constitution, and she likes it because she's cruel. Because this is the same woman that can shoot her puppy and tell people about it in like a proud way. Like, look how tough I am. I killed my children's dog. It is despicable. And then when asked a question about racial profiling, this is just so rich. Here we go on that charge.
Let me get your reaction. A federal judge in Los Angeles temporarily blocked ICE raids in Southern California, saying that federal agents cannot target people without reasonable suspicion, and using factors like skin color, the language that people speak. Will you comply with the judge's order?
Absolutely, but we've never done that. We've never done that.
Okay. We have never done that. That is exactly what they're doing when they go in to Home Depot, to 7-Eleven. Now they're raiding farms while people are working. But don't take my word for it. The border czar, the absolute sociopath, Tom Homan, he was on Fox News bragging about racial profiling. Here we go.
Got to get your reaction to this Biden-appointed federal judge out in Los Angeles, apparently expected today to issue a temporary restraining order halting your lawful operations. She says, I think it's important for the court not to burden otherwise lawful law enforcement activities. Your reaction there?
Look, people need to understand, ICE officers and Border Patrol, they don't need probable cause to walk up to somebody, briefly detain them, and question them. They just need this totality of the circumstances, right? They just got through the observation, you know, get articulable facts based on their location, their occupation, their physical appearance, their actions. Like a uniformed Border Patrol agent walks up to them at for instance, a Home Depot. And they got all these articulable facts, plus the person walks away or runs away. You know, agents are trained. What they need to...
Okay. First of all, listening to his voice, it's like RFK Jr. style degrading. It's like, you talk like this. I mean, can you not speak clearly? Because you seem to be able to identify people based on their physical appearance, which, by the way, is racial profiling and is against the law and against the Constitution. But again, these people don't give a shit. So what Kristi Noem says on a ABC morning, or I don't know, I think NBC or what are the normal networks that's not Fox News. She says, oh no, we don't do that. When he's on Fox News with the base, they snort this shit. So he goes right in and says, yeah, we racially profile. So what? We get to do it. And that is where we are in the United States of America. If your skin is brown, they are going to rip you up, not give you due process, detain you in a concentration camp. And here's the thing. You may be there for months or years, because despite the fact that ICE now has a bigger budget than the United States Marine Corps, they have given no money to the judicial branch of ICE, where there's adjudication of probable cause, asylum, detention. None of those things are handled and given money. So these people are going to sit there indefinitely waiting for due process if they're lucky. And if they're not lucky, they'll go to El Salvador. It's just, this is the United States of America. We have a concentration camp in Florida where they sell merch. These people are deplorable, and the triple Trumpers like it. So that's what gets me about this big outrage over the Epstein files, which I get. Child sex trafficking is a horrible, horrible thing. But so is putting people in concentration camps without probable cause based on the color of their skin. So please, if you have empathy for children, have empathy for these families that their parents and grandparents have been stripped up and put in a detention camp. Please have empathy for other people's children that aren't white. Please like our video, please subscribe, and we'll see you soon.